Puntland state is located in the northeastern part of Somalia and was formed in August 1998.
The closing session of the establishment of the state of Putland, which is going to lead the stone corner of the Somali federal government, and we hope that in this regard Somalia will experience a new era with reconciliation process and peace and stability throughout Somalia.
Since its creation, the peaceful transfer of central power has been a typical feature of the political landscape. Local citizens are accustomed to statewide elections every political term, and this experience has propelled Puntland and its people to dream bigger.
waxaan xirgelin doonaa nidaamka dimuqraadiyadda ee xisbiyada badan sanadka ugu horeeya xukuumadda cusub haddii aan la idmo.
President Saeed Abdullahi Deni, envisioning a more democratic and fairer Somalia, one that is free from the shackles of systemic tribalism and clanism, was elected by the will of the people on his campaign promise to forge a new political structure in which a multi-party system and one person, one vote elections can successfully operate.
waxaan ku dhaaranayaa magaca Ilaahay
inaan ku dhaqmo diinta Islaamka dastuurka dawladda Puntland iyo qawaaniintiisa dhowro.
Previous administrations attempted to implement the democratization agenda. Once President Deni took office, he revived the transitional Puntland Electoral Commission within the first 7 months of his term, demonstrating the huge commitment of the current government. This timely commitment gave the Commission a conducive working schedule and the political buy-in that electoral processes desperately needed. 14 organizations registered and 9 political parties met the requirements, including the President's Party, CAR. President Saeed Abdullahi Deni, knowing that he was going against the very grain of the status quo, persisted in his efforts. And so, those efforts paid off.
ogaada madaxdii hore markii 98 Puntland la aasaasay warqadii ugu horeysay lagu heshiiyay waxa ku taalay 3 sano gudahood in axsaab lagu furo 23 sano kadib annagu waxaan ku dhiiranay inaan niraano taladii sidii lagu heshiiyay u fulinayna dadkana waa ku celinayna.
It was a historic day. On October 25, 2021, Puntland became the first federal member state in Somalia to hold one-person, one-vote elections in the 3 districts of Ail, Ufein and Qardo. In the face of the searing heat, people from all corners of society stood for long hours, awaiting their turn to vote for the first time in their entire lives. Pregnant women, dehydrated senior citizens, the disabled and the young and healthy, all united in their determination to be counted as individuals with the right to choose, and not to disappear among the nameless and faceless in their tribe, represented by their clan leaders.
meesha waagu noogu bariya feelkii ay ugu dheeraada marka qof culus ah bish 9 ku jira askarta iyo soo asxaabana ay soo gudbiyeen haddana xisbigii aan rabay inaan u codeeyo waa u soo calaamisan tuuqan waa ku soo riday warqadii.
They stood for hours with the understanding that democracy is not given, but it must be secured through struggle, persistence and conviction.
We have seen that elderly people, fairly old people, have come to the queue to vote. We have seen that breastfeeding mothers with their kids have come to the line and have been, in the line for many hours, waiting to cast their vote. We have seen that people with disability, people with special needs, they have come to the line and stood so long hours to wait to cast their vote. That has signaled to everyone in Puntland and also in Somalia, as well as the international community, that people of Puntland is well experienced, is well ready to, have the one person, one vote elections.
The electoral results broke new significant ground and ushered a new era of political inclusion for Puntland, not only for implementing one person, one vote elections, but also in achieving inclusive election results. For instance, the youth and women comprised of more than 50% of all registered voters and increased their seats for representation in all 3 districts. Somalis from other member states who are internally displaced and who have lived in Puntland for more than 10 years were allowed to register, vote and run for public office, as prescribed in both the Puntland and federal constitutions. Consequently, one member from the IDP community won an elected office. Spearheaded by the strong leadership of President Saeed Abdullahi Deni, intense preparations now continue for holding one person, one vote elections in the remaining district councils. There are ongoing meetings between the President and political parties, the youth and civil society, as well as activities that are empowering key ministries such as the Ministry of Interior and Democratization.
doorashada golayaasha deegaanka weey waa la tijaabiyay 3 degmo la tijaabiyay si qurux badan bay u dhacday intii kala qorshaysan waqtigu waa dhow yahay hawsha inaan israacino ayaan rabnaa waa hawl ay ku xiran tahay mustaqbalkii Puntland waana hawl loogu talagalay hadda ku hor in la qabto.
Puntland has come to be perceived by many as a beacon of light and a democratic role model for Somalia as a whole. Based on the lessons learned from the first 3 districts, the Transitional Puntland Electoral Commission are now ready than ever before. The Commission has the experience and technical expertise to finalize local council elections in Puntland districts.
We have received a lot of experience from the early elections for the 3 districts, including the logistical planning of the election. For example, the number of people that can vote at their location, the different kind of technical personnel and staff required to be deployed, planning of the different transportation and other materials, and of course the way of generally managing the election. For example, before we did not know that 2,000 people cannot vote the same place today, but after the election we know how many people can vote per day. The way of doing the awareness was also a challenge before, but after the experience and lessons learned from the 3 districts, the way of conducting the awareness is well planned. For example, we are setting up a call center that every citizen can call free to ask questions to be guided. There will be also voice recorded on that system.
Wherever President Saeed Abdullahi Deni visits in Puntland, the spirit of the people come alive with hope, especially amongst the women and youth who are frustrated and feel invisible and powerless in their own homeland. Making up more than half of the population, they confidently ask the President, "When are we going to be finally counted as individuals?" They ask him, "When will that dream come true?" with a determined president, a hopeful state. That dream draws near with each day passing.